Yeah, it's definitely the toughest event I've ever been a part of mentally and even physically. Like, you try not to touch the ground as much as possible, like, because every bruise or crash you have, it definitely takes a toll on your body. So especially early on in the week, if you have a big crash, you got to push through that bruising and that injury throughout the race. And there's 8,000 kilometers we're riding, so very big days the first week, so very long stages. So it's going to be probably one of the toughest weeks, and then it should back off a little bit by the kilometers that they've given us. But yeah, it's grueling, long days, early morning wake ups.
This is the KTM Summer Grill. I'm Andrew Van Leeuwen, joined by Simon Chapman and a KTM rider, Daniel Chucky Sanders. He's become our great hope at the Dakar Rally. I do want to start with a question just for my own benefit, Chucky. Why Chucky? Where does his name come from?
Yeah, Chucky's come from the nickname started from when I was a kid. As a toddler, I used to drink too much and eat too much, and I just chuck up. Like, I didn't stop. So that's my parents gave that to me, just going, "Oh, he's just chucked up again." So it was a common occurrence, and that's sort of stuck with me ever since throughout high school, primary school, sport. So yeah, it's this is a cool nickname to come. It's not the horror creature doll, the scary movie. So
That was
I'm glad
one of
it's
the
not that from my looks.
that was one of the theories that we had going around when we were trying to work out what it might be. Now the countdown's on to the Dakar Rally is always the first big motorsport event on the calendar. How's your preparation been for this? It's a pretty grueling event, really.
Yeah, it's actually been probably the best one I've had in 2 years, really. I had the elbow 2 years ago. I came in with not much time preparation going in, and this last year I had the femur. So this year's been my first clean year with no big crazy injuries. So it's definitely better than last year, and we've made some really good improvements on the bike, which we got to shake down in Morocco a couple months ago. So it was definitely in a really good position, a good spot, and hopefully we can do something cool for Australia.
Just obviously you've had a couple of outings, in this factory Red Bull KTM in those colours, but it must still be kind of surreal, like just the history, particularly at Dakar, for that, for that branch of the organisation and for that team. It must be something very cool.
Yeah, it is. It's the the most prestigious team in the paddock, really, and all eyes are on Red Bull KTM. So they've got the most victories there in the bikes, and the most sort of consecutive as well. And the eyes are always on those riders. If you're in under that banner, you're expected to bring in a result. So I like that. It's fine, and I know I'm in a position to bring those results in, and as long as I'm comfortable and fighting fit, I'm sure I can take that pressure on and deliver for the team. So it's definitely going to be one to bounce back this year.
Obviously, for 2025, you're joining the Benavides brothers in the factory KTM team. It's sort of been a little bit of churn. Obviously, moving yourself up from the gas setup. Those brothers are some of the best in Dakar rallying, right? So how good is it for you to go up against them and use them as your benchmark?
Those guys have a really good base. They when Dakar was in South America, that's where they sort of started back then, and they started really early because Dakar Rally was in their backyard. So it's cool to there's a little bit of an age difference between them. Like, I think Kevin's the oldest, he's like 35, and Luciano is a year younger than me, so he's 29. So it's cool. A lot more Spanish I need to sort of understand now, because Toby and Sam aren't in there, and Walkner as well. So it's good to have them there and have them as a benchmark when we're training and testing. It's good to see where they're at and where I'm at and compare that, and it's always important to know where you need to improve and be better come race day.
We've kind of seen, we're so used to the dominance of the Red Bull KTM outfit at Dakar, but there has been, a dip in form recently. You're coming off the back of victory in Morocco. Firstly, how important was that in terms of just, your own confidence, but then also having confidence that, hey, this bike should be competitive, when we get to the Middle East?
Yeah, then that's where, this year, was a bit of an eye-opener for the team and the company for us. Us riders, or especially me, I was pretty strong on my feelings on the bike, and we needed it to be better. And this year at Dakar, we struggled as riders and we couldn't perform to what we needed. I literally probably raced at 40-50% of my potential that whole race because I couldn't perform how I wanted to perform with how the bike was set up. So we took that, and the boys and the girls from the team in Austria worked their butts off, and we really improved throughout the year. We didn't get to show that until Morocco in October. So the last test on this bike was in October, in end of August. I was in America testing, and we dialed it in there. And I just said to them, "Right, the bike's good. Let me do the work, and I'll bring you a result in Morocco." So it was sort of good for them to hear that after 3 years of me saying, it's not right. We need it to be better, and for me to do what I need to do to win and give you guys, that reward. So it was pretty surreal and an awesome feeling to bring that to the table in October to the company and the team, because it's been a long journey since I started rally, and just to have that win brought a lot of positive vibes back in the team, and we all got back around each other and created a really good atmosphere going into Dakar. And that's where it is tough at the moment with KTM, with the financial struggles, with the everything that they've got on through the peer mobility group. It's crazy. Racing's going ahead. We're racing Dakar, so it's my job now to go out, and for all those people that have been laid off and, over Christmas and going into next year, it's the pressure's on me to perform and do everyone proud back in Austria and around the world that is, passionate for this company as I am, and to bring home a trophy, to go for that top step in Saudi Arabia and bring that Dakar trophy back to them where it belongs.
I wanted to ask if there'd been any distraction around the fact that KTM had been in the headlines, but it sounds like it's serving more as motivation than anything.
For me, yeah, you can take any information, and it's up to you how you use it. But for me, it's I know I've got the best bike under me now. I've just proven it. I'm back fighting fit, feeling great on the bike, and now it's time for me to go do that. And yeah, they don't need to worry about it. And there's a lot the last 2 weeks in the media and the month. It's been rumours, and then now it's all been out. So it's definitely a tough time for KTM, and it's now time for us for me, I feel that I need to perform and try and help and save the family and company of what I've been a part of for so many years. So I just want to do the best I can, and this is why they've contracted me on the team to perform. So that's what I'm willing to do, and give everything I can to try and win.
I think it might be fair to say that in years past, a lot of the attention has been around Toby Price from an Australian point of view, whether that's in the media or just in terms of fan engagement and stuff, and maybe Chucky has been the other Aussie sort of thing competing in Dakar. Do you feel like now you're starting to sort of maybe creep out from the shadow of Toby now that he's sort of stepped away, getting into cars? He's doing the Ute program and the Hilux next year, and you are now the guy for KTM as the Aussie to go out there and win Dakar.
Yeah, it's been good. Toby's obviously led the way and opened up that path for us Aussies to step in, but it's not just given to you because he's in that position. I've had to work hard as he did, and anyone in the future that wants to come and step up into the position we're in, you got to do the hard yards and earn that position. It's not easy to get in to the Red Bull KTM team, and it's as I said before, the pressure's going to be on, and I didn't really get to have that opportunity to perform as well as I wanted to with Tobe's racing there to sort of take over, but everyone's sort of following it as got to watch us race together, and some days you're faster than the other, but in rally it's just like you have a couple bad days and get lost, and it's not like who's faster or whatever. You just got to control the race and do the best you can. So but it was handy having Tobes there to reach that extra audience and help grow the Australian racing side of things, and it's definitely helped me to get to where I am now. So it's all on me to try now. It's not me and Tobes fighting for the victory. It's just going to be me in the bike category. So I'll do everyone proud, hopefully in the two-wheel community and the motorsport community that's following the Dakar, and while they're sitting back and relaxing, I'll be out there grinding.
It sounds like there's some confidence that the bike is in a position where it can win Dakar. Are you ready to win Dakar? You talked about your rally journey before. Like, that is a tough event. It does take time to learn how to win it. Are you ready to go there and do it?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I've won 2 World Rally rounds now and have to deal with that pressure. Like, I've had that pressure on the world stage before in enduro, and winning the international 6-day enduro. So there's a lot of pressure involved in that, and these long events. And now with rally, it's the navigation. You've got to be switched on and focused the whole time. So it's really just up to me to, when I get in that position, and all the experience of racing I've had throughout the years, I just got to push through, and when it comes crunch time, just not fold and push through, and just focus on what I know I can do, and I'm sure it'll be the best outcome possible.
How mentally straining is this event? Because obviously you have to deal with the fact that your body is getting the crap beaten out of it for 2 weeks. You talk about the navigation stuff, that's so tough. You are going to hit hurdles. Nobody even wins Dakar without something going wrong at some point. So keeping yourself motivated, like, how much of a test mentally is this event?
Yeah, it's definitely the toughest event I've ever been a part of mentally and even physically. Like, you try not to touch the ground as much as possible, like, because every bruise or crash you have, it definitely takes a toll on your body. So especially early on in the week, if you have a big crash, you got to push through that bruising and that injury throughout the race. And there's 8,000 kilometers we're riding, so very big days the first week, so very long stages. So it's going to be probably one of the toughest weeks, and then it should back off a little bit by the kilometers that they've given us. But yeah, it's grueling, long days, early morning wake ups on the bike. It's cold, so it's not nice. You just gotta know you got to make it through each day and then push through to the finish line. So you can't quit.
I've got to ask then, what compels you to compete in this? Because it doesn't actually sound like an awful lot of fun.
No, it's not. It's anyone that's raced it. It's dudes. I just can't start something and not finish it. So I don't know. I just always liked the physical demand of moto riding, and it's individual sport. So you can just punish yourself. I don't know. I just love just going through the pain and pushing through and having that challenge and overcoming challenges that may not have been even possible that you would think of going into the race, but it happens. So you're just like, oh, I've got to push through, and that's what makes you stronger as a person. And I'm sure all that stuff I've pushed through, it's gonna really pay off one day when it comes to that, last day or one other day throughout the race, that I really need to just pull in, bite my teeth together, and show some grit and just push through to the finish.
I guess the Dakar Rally is maybe the rallying equivalent of like the 24 Hours of Le Mans, or Daytona 500, Bathurst 1000, whatever big circuit race there is in the world. But how much emphasis do you put on the actual championship? Because it is actually a series of events beyond Dakar, right?
Yeah, there is the World Rally Championship as well, but we as KTM haven't entered it since we didn't enter the World Championship this year, so we're just going to the events that we feel that's necessary to go to and compete in. I'd love to do the World Championship, but right now, financially, it's not possible, and they don't get as much exposure. You do Dakar, that's 90% or 95% of the exposure you get compared to all the other races. Like, it's ballistic, like the numbers that it shows compared to any other motorsport around the world. It's I think it's above MotoGP, and then it's one under F1. So it brings a pretty large audience to the race and the event, and that's why KTM focus solely on that and want to put all their eggs in one basket for that race. And that's the one race you want to win to kick off the year. It's that first event, and hopefully we can shift the momentum back, and everyone starts buying bikes again and getting into it after the summer and winter break overseas, and get back around the brand, because I know that they haven't stopped working, and they want the best bike back out there.
Do you feel any pressure in heading into Dakar just because of that? Not any of that stuff, but you mentioned all the eggs going in this basket. This is the big one for you guys. There is the World Championship, but Dakar's Dakar. But nothing comes close to it. You get one crack at it every year. Do you feel any pressure when you jump on the bike on day one to think, all right, this is it for the next 12 months?
Yeah, it is. There is a lot of pressure going into it, because if you don't give everything you've got, or you come in underprepared and then you go, I got to wait another whole year to prepare the best I can to win this. So it's been pretty unlucky the last few times. With the femur last year and the bike, and then breaking the elbow the year before, and getting food poisoning one year that cost me a victory, I think. So it's like, it sucks, and it's hard to have those things and overcome them and come back, and you only got one shot a year. So there is that pressure, but I roll up to the race just ready to go, and I don't really think about all that. It's just I'm focused on that one job, and that's racing. Your mindset just changes when it comes to race day, and you just adapt to it. And I've raced many times, so I don't know, your brain just goes off into another world.
Well, Chucky, we wish you the absolute best of luck at Dakar. We'll be cheering you on, and hopefully we'll see you holding one of those trophies come sort of mid-January.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on. It's very exciting times ahead, not long to go, and hopefully everyone's kicking back and watching it.
Thanks for tuning in to the KTM Summer Grill. With each episode, we are giving away one of these cool KTM goodie bags. Don't miss your chance to win. If you're watching via Speak Cafe, enter your details below. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description.